What's up, guys? Welcome to All One Auto. I'm Devin, and this is my 1971 Buick Riviera, or rather, it was. This 240SX, this Buick Riviera.
This Subaru Forester XT. These cars need to be ready by the spring for a weekend motorsport tour.
A drag race event.
A motocross event.
A drift event. And don't forget to hit that bell because we are going to be uploading weekly on these builds and you don't want to miss it.
And before we talk about this car's future, we have to talk about its past.
The third generation Buick Riviera marked a pivotal moment in automotive history, blending a bold design with a shift in engine performance dynamics. The Riviera nameplate debuted in 1963 as Buick's introduction into the personal luxury coupe market. By the way, did you know that Riviera is Italian for coastline? Anyway, the Riviera was created to compete with other sporty luxury coupes hitting the market like the Ford Thunderbird, Oldsmobile Tornado, and Chevrolet Monte Carlo. The first generation Riviera was praised for its sleek styling, powerful engines, and luxurious features. Over the years, each generation evolved to keep pace with shifting consumer tastes and technology advancements. By the third generation, introduced in 1971, the Riviera adopted the dramatic boat tail design under Bill Michael, inspired by a mix of classic speedboats and old 1930s cars like the Auburn Speedsters, as well as introduced Buick's full-flow ventilation system where air would flow through the two louvers in the trunk and circulate throughout the car. The rear body lines were a large departure from the norm and remain iconic to this day. However, in 1970, President Nixon brought us a little something called the Clean Air Act. A turning point for performance as tightened federal regulations on emissions and the introduction of unleaded gasoline forced automakers selling in the U.S. to meet the new emissions standards by 1975. So what does that mean for our Riviera? Compression dropped from 10 1/4 to 1 to 8.5 to 1. Valve timing was retarded, and a ton of extra doodabbies cluttering out the engine bay. These changes to the Buick 455 brought it from a fire-breathing 375 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque, to a sad, defeated 260 horsepower with 376 feet of torque by 1973. So this brings us to our plans for my Buick.
It's getting a high compression big block with dome pistons, big cam, high tension springs. It's got big valves, should be making big power out of an old 455 big block, so that's gonna be pretty fun. We're getting air suspension and it's getting a hitch mount and big brakes because we're gonna use this to do some towing, to do some hauling. So it's gonna be putting down track times and pulling around track cars. Be sick. All right, we need to get this engine out of here so that we can make room for that engine. And also, a lot of the parts that are still on this engine are parts that I need for that engine because that engine came in such bad shape that I can't use half the parts that were on it. For example, come look at this. Somebody let the water pump go a little too long. Look at that, it's like a 1/4 inch deep. At one time, somebody must have lost the water pump and then just let the impeller eat its way into the housing and just kept sending it. But that kind of ruins our timing cover. I don't want to put this timing cover back in and have, without the right tolerance to your impeller, you're not going to move enough coolant. And I'm nervous of overheating issues anyway. So we can't use this timing cover. I got to pull the one off the other engine, which is a shame because I kind of wanted to keep that engine a whole because it's nice, it still works fine. You know, maybe put it in another project, but I guess I could find another timing cover, but I didn't want to open that one up. But we're going to have to. We're going to get the timing cover off of that engine. We're going to need the oil pan off of that engine because this oil pan, somebody put a jack through it. Somebody just under the car and didn't look and just sent the jack up, put a hole in the pan and then just brazed it with some solder. So I don't want to get the whole engine in and find out we got an oil leak. And then besides that, I took that engine apart so long ago that I forget how it goes back together. I don't remember. So I need to pull that engine out, kind of tear it apart and have it fresh in my brain the way that one goes back together. Because there's like some spacers in behind the timing set, some other little doodabbies that are in that box over there that I have no idea where they came from. So I'm gonna pay attention for them coming out of this one so I know where to put them back now. So let's get to it. To pull this engine out, we have to pull half the front of the car apart because the engine's so far back in there, this car's so long that the front end is so far out in front of the engine that you can't get an engine crane in here and be able to reach the middle of the engine to get it out. So I gotta pull the front end off, which I kinda wanted to do anyway because we're getting ready to do some suspension modifications, but I'm gonna be doing some framework in here and I wanna clean it all up anyway. So I'm gonna pull everything off the fenders, pull the fenders off, pull the, I don't know what you would call this, bumper and off. so that I can make room to get the engine crane in there. And I got a new radiator for it. I forgot. I got an aluminum radiator for it. It's got to go in. So that's got to come out anyway. So might as well start by pulling the front end down and pulling the fenders off. Somebody zip tied this on. I don't know who it was. Where am I going to put all this stuff? There's so many. Those panels are ginormous. And my table turned into the lunch table. I have to pull the hood. I mean, I was gonna have to pull the hood anyway, but I've never thought about it till now. And so, for one reason, look at this angle. That whole engine's gotta come up and out. It's not gonna make it with that hood on, especially with an engine crane on it. That's reason one. Reason two, is I want these fenders to come off, and the hood bolts to the fender. Look at this. You would think that like this would be the end of the fender, and that's what I did think. But then it's not. This is fender too. It's this whole thing. This fender, and the hood bolts right there. So to get the fender off, I gotta take the hood off. To get the engine out, I gotta take the hood off. Hey John, pick up on it some? There you go. All right. It's for real heavy. That's crazy.
Back! Oh my.
Where do you want me? Out of the way? You got it?
Yeah, we got it right now. How's the top looking?
Good.
Let's see, is that front end starting to feel a little more loose? Oh yeah, it's moving now. I am so nervous. Let me tell you why. See these? That's a stack of shims. There's some here, there's one right here. They're actually alignment shims is what they are, and they're the only thing keeping these body lines straight. So when I put this thing back together, all of those shims have to be back in the right place, or the hood won't line up right, or the fenders won't line up right. And that's kind of like, it's a lot of pressure, because I don't know where they go. I brought the AC machine over. So the AC system's empty. Now we can get this condenser out of the way. The front end's starting to feel like it's loosening up, I guess you would say. Front bumper's off. That's it, we gotta get this front end off. So when this front end's off, we're gonna be able to fly through all this work in the front. With all this out of the way, so much room for activities. That bolt that I thought would never ever come out, look what it did. It came right out. It's not good, not a lot left of it. It came out. So how's this front end feel now? Whoa. That's weird.
Chrome strips. This one here just keeps turning, so.
Yeah, you might have to pull on it a little bit.
I might have to pull on it a little bit.
Oh yeah, the front end just dropped like a quarter inch.
Yeah, it's moving, dude.
All right, I think we're moving. So, I'm seeing something. That. This is terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Like right here. We need to be careful.
Try to keep it as straight as we can.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's possible. It's about where I got mine too.
Okay.
How's that corner?
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Felt like it was.
And we're stuck on John's side.
Yeah, my side's gotta pop out.
That side's loose.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go up all the way.
A little stuck here.
Ah! It's heavy! It's a million pounds!
Oh my.
Whoa!
Wow, wait.
That was pretty crazy.
Good work.
You're so strong, Scott. I have a carburetor plate for hoisting this out, so I'm gonna pop the carburetor off. I'll do that. Scott, if you wanna work on downpipes,
Yep.
you can take the downpipes loose. If you have a sawzall, you can cut them. It's getting long tubes, so
Okay.
might as well just get a sawzall out if we've got one here and cut those off. John, if you wanna start disconnecting like heater core hoses, any electricals, our string lines will come off, and then all it'll be after that is bell housing bolts, motor mount bolts, and this thing should be able to come up out of it. We'll put it on a stand next to the other engine, get the engines going. While it's out, I'll pressure wash all this.
Sick.
Hey, I remember that thing. 9/16.
Yeah. This one's not having.
That was about spark plug in the 6.
I think I'm gonna take his starter out. Well, I think I'm gonna need an extension.
Hi, babe.
Dude, the CGI and the...
My brother, or whatever, not a brother.
You think so?
Batman, dude.
Got all dolls and bolts out from up here.
Once the engine's out, but I think I can get it. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, it sucks. I've done one. Craziness.
Gotta give it a tug. Pull up on that hose.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, should we take guesses?
Oh yeah. Get your guesses in. I'm thinking 600.
637.
725.
It is dressed. You might be right. It's got manifolds on it and everything. All right, that's 350, 450, 590, 600, 618. What'd you say?
637.
It's right now it's 620,
622.
622. All right, that's good, Scott. 620 exactly. So you got it.
17 off.
17 off. I'm 20 off.
Yeah.
All right, we pulled the engine out last time. Now it's on a stand right there. This is our new engine right here. And we're gonna start transferring a lot of the parts over, start tearing this one down. We have the heads ready to go. We can swap the intake over, get our valve train together, and then we can test fit our headers, make sure they fit good. They're in that box right there. So I need a new water pump, and I think I'm gonna do an oil pump. So we're still waiting on those. So we'll do what we can before we got it. Ready? Mm-hmm.
It's got a little shimmer to it.
That's okay.
Did what it needed to do.
Any girl with any. It's just a metal wrench. And make sure it is.
All right, so these are our rocker assemblies for our 455. These are off the other engine we had in there, and we know they work really good and they all look good. So I'm gonna inspect these and clean them and make sure they're ready to put on. But all of our push rods look good, rockers look good, bolts look great. So I think these are gonna work great. I said great a lot right there, but I mean, everything's great, so. I'm gonna run these over. These are our flat tappet lifters. Most lifters, like I'm used to seeing, have a roller on the bottom, and then the cam actually rolls on the lifter, and that's a roller engine. This, flat tappet engine. Kind of wild, never built one before.
Look, throw your back out.
Oh my goodness.
John, will you hold that from falling off for a second, please?
Yeah.
I don't think these are side specific.
We got one shot at this.
One opportunity.
You only got one shot.
You got it.
Thank you.
86 Buick Grand National, fastest production car. That's a
Ready?
Whoa, look at those pistons. I have never. What is that? Whoa, that's interesting. She was running a bit rich. That's okay. It smells like those head bolts. Those head bolts stink. Why do head bolts always stink so bad? John, look at these pistons.
I'll be interested.
So let me show you the main difference between the engine that we had and the engine we're putting in. So if you look at these pistons, see this big dish. They're shaped like a big cup or a big dish, like that. Pistons we're putting in are dome pistons. You can see the main difference is the top face of the pistons are completely flat. It's actually got some standoffs here to raise the compression with valve release so that the valves don't connect with the pistons. Don't kiss them. You don't want. No, that's bad.
So one very important thing when you're putting an engine together is to pickle your lifters. Now you want to pickle them for about at least an hour, and they're going to come out with a delicious brine. They're going to be great. They're going to work great.
These are so heavy. Backwards, nope, rightwards. Oh no. Okay, I'm out. I love it. I'm so excited. You're gonna hurt yourself. Up, up, up. There you go. Isn't that crazy? Hey, I got some pork chops at home on brine right now. They're brining. Yeah, I got some soaking pork chops. I'm so excited. I just thought about, I'm hungry, and I just thought about how last night I put some listen, tell me if this sounds good, because I'm not a cook, but I'm just trying something. It's a Midwestern dish. Yeah, you gotta look it up. It's a classic Midwestern dish. You take pork chops, you cut them up, put them in a gallon bag, and then I added soy sauce, apple juice, and Worcestershire sauce, and salt and pepper in a bag. That's far enough. Thank you.
My index finger is the same size as your pinky, so I'm just going to use it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can get them all in there.
Jaro Lifters has finished its final brine, and you can see we got really, really nice coating on there. They're all nice and full.
Wow.
So
Where did you get the jar?
Buddha's house.
That's what it is. It's his drinking jar.
We got to be real careful with these because these are slippery little guys.
It's like snot.
Ugh. Ooh, this is going nice.
They're busy playing with rubber band engines over there. They don't know nothing about this high displacement, high horsepower V8. All right, so we're gonna delete this fan. We're not gonna use this fan anymore. Apparently, you can gain about 20 to 30 horsepower just by not having that. Just like I save 100% a month on my car insurance by not having it. So, we're gonna rip that fan off. It's like Geico. Yeah.
50% or more, how about 100%?
How about 100% just don't have it? So I'm gonna pull this, I'm gonna pull this fan off and get this timing cover off so that we can inspect our timing cover, because our other one is shot. It lost a fight with the water pump. This is our other timing cover, the one that originally was on this engine. We're gonna have to take that one because they must have had a bad bearing in the water pump and it ate the water pump housing, and that's not good for flow. So we're gonna reuse that one. And I'm also going to try to, this section here is our oil pump. I'm gonna try to use our old distributor off of that engine and make an adapter that I can run with a drill so that I can run the oil pump without the engine running and start pumping oil up to the lifters, into the top end, and up into the heads. So we can get oil moving through the engine before we even crank it, before we move anything. Oh, got it. I do have car insurance, by the way. This was a joke. You may be wondering where John and Scott are. I am too. It's fine. Man, that's why. Look at that. Look at that little shaft. That's gonna be a big socket. Come right out.
Now's the pulley come right off? Oh yeah.
Yeah, dog. All right. I think what we're doing is actually fatiguing the bolt itself. I think what might happen is that bolt's actually going to snap off back there too. We're bending that bolt to do this, so eventually it has to break, right? You remember? So now we got to get that out of there somehow. Sick. I think we found the source of our metal and our oil. Check this out. See that big groove there? That's the cam, the lobe that runs the fuel pump. The fuel pump sits, I'll show you. So this fuel pump sits just like that. And this arm rides on that lobe. And as that lobe spins, it actuates this arm. There's a diaphragm in here, and it makes fuel. Well, this thing has always had a fuel supply issue. If you were to do a burnout or something cool for a while, it would fuel starve. And we went through the fuel system multiple times for everything except for that. And that might be why we weren't getting enough fuel to it. That one wasn't tight.
Tight.
Look at the oil leak from right there too.
Yep. There it was. Oh, holy pan. What? Brother.
Oh, wow.
What is that? Is it metal?
No, it's not metal.
Something might have built a nest in here at one time.
Time to bring back the gross up of that.
Oh, there's some metal in there.
Wow, your bottom end stinks.
Yes, it does.
So we've got these timing covers off, getting ready to put them on. Well, we got to clean them up, but getting ready to clean them up and prep them to put them on. So we started feeling these oil pumps out. This is the oil pump off of the donor engine, which is now our built engine. This is the oil pump off of the engine that just came out of the Buick, which is the one I planned on using, and it feels horrible. The guts, something's not right in there. Judging by the metal and debris we found in the bottom of the oil pan and the condition of the oil when it came out, it's not a good idea to run this pump. So I am going to order a pump rebuild kit. There's actually upgraded options out there that people recommend to use when you've done the modifications that we've done to this engine. So I'm gonna order one of those kits in, get this one ripped all the way down, cleaned up, and then rebuild the pump And then next time we'll be putting the front cover on and then sealing the engine up.